Grandparent Hospital High Tea. I'm Gillian Rattray, the Orch Librarian, and I'm just here to speak a little bit about the Orch collection. And what better way to do it than on a lovely winter's day at this beautiful tea cosy cafe, so I hope you're all nice and cosy. And what better way to celebrate 40 years of the Orch Library. So first of all, we're going to have a little chat about the library, and later on, if you're all interested, we'll have a bit of Ward Granny story time. So first I'd like to take you on a brief tour of the Orch Library and just take this opportunity to think about the previous librarians who did much for the work of Orch and for their tenacity and for their amazing work as they supported Orch through the years. Did you know that there are over 12,000 records on the Orch database, which have been indexed painstakingly over the years from journals and newsletters, and originally they were indexed and put onto card, so it was a very time-consuming approach. Today we have so much information at hand and we take this for granted, but back then it was a manual process sifting through information. And the previous librarian, who's still very much involved with Orch, Marion Steele, described it a bit like finding a needle in a haystack. The reason for this was much of the information was of medical and clinical nature and didn't look at the psychosocial and social and emotional aspects of children in healthcare. That information simply wasn't found in the medical databases, as you will be aware. Orch librarians were asked to undertake literature searches also that were new in nature, they were foundational and emerging, and the librarians often networked with researchers, health professionals, families, families and parents in order to make this information available. Looking at the psychosocial aspects of children in healthcare over the years, and mapping some of the common themes, Orch Library has supported Orch's work on social and emotional aspects of children in healthcare in Australia. Some of the areas are attachment theory and parental presence, the presence of family members in hospital, the hospital familiarisation and preparation, play and the hospitalised child, both medical play, preparation for hospital and medical procedures, and the work of hospital play therapists and child life therapists. Children's participation in healthcare decision making, so the child's point of view, and a child-friendly environment, so things like design of the healthcare environment, design of children and adolescents' wards, green spaces and therapeutic environments. Of course, the grandparent ward scheme is part of the Orch Library's literature role, patient and family-centred care, and health professional as a trained person working with children and adolescents. More recently, looking at rare diseases and chronic illness with such topics as transition to adult care, hospital, school and re-entry into school and community life, and rare diseases and chronic illnesses. Underpinning all this is the library's role supporting Orch in advocacy and policy work for the improvement of children in healthcare in Australia. Taking a bird's eye look at the past, the library commenced with the vision of Eva Langley and the Orch pioneers. It started from scratch at a time when little information was available. It was developed then into a specialised collection used by health professionals, educators and families. The Orch Library was well known for its valuable film and audio-visual collection. When I talked to my mum, who was an early childhood educator at TAFE, and her colleagues about my job at Orch, they described having both awe and fear of the founding librarian Eva Langley because of her role in particularly 16mm films. You maybe have experienced them, but the reel-to-reel rewinding of the films sent them into panic, and often they were put back to front, or the reel might shoot off into the distance. And the worst case scenario, they were known to jump on the PowerPoint, as one of the 2 of them set on fire. So what of the topic of the library today in 2014? Orge continues to receive information requests on topics that are emerging of areas of concern for children in healthcare. Links to information are new and online now. This is a great place to start with our new library catalogue. There are 12,000 records at least, and we hold 1,000 books. You may be aware the books are available for families and health professionals, educators to borrow. So the focus for us is a one-stop shop with links to new online resources, parenting booklets, websites, audiovisual and YouTube. Our goal is to the same, looking for and pointing people to relevant information. It's just that now much of it takes place online or through social media. There is a sea of information out there, as you'll be aware, and we aim to find resources for children's hospitals, from children's hospitals, both in Australia and internationally, as well as research organisations and peer support groups. The library is continuing to purchase books, and many of them are for children and parents. If you've followed us on Facebook or our blog, you'll see there are book reviews for new books that we purchase. We'd love to hear from you if there are books that you'd like us to buy for families, for the library, and we'd really love to hear about books that are useful and families have found to be helpful. So we take an active part in promoting useful resources. You can visit us at the library, which is website library@awch.org.au, and I'll be handing out my business card. There's some copies over there. On the back you'll find the website address, so please feel free to take them for families, and I'd be happy to lend books. It's just the cost of the postage. Well, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoy your tea cozies and your cups, and enjoy the rest of your chat. Thank you, Gillian.